Welcome to Darko Gaming's preview of Dante's Inferno. Now I've gathered a lot of information on this game. Today for you guys I have developer commentary.
This is the devil's backyard.
A live stream recording with some of the producers.
Top 9 reasons why you should go out and play and download the Dante's Inferno demo.
And some gameplay footage. Alright, first of all, let me give you some background information on Dante's Inferno. The game is being developed by EA's Visceral Games for the Xbox 360 and PS3. It's based off the 700-year-old Italian poem by Dante Alighieri. Dante described hell as having 9 circles or levels. Each circle was dedicated to a certain type of sin. In the poem, Dante didn't fight his way through hell, but it's an amazing inspiration for a video game. Now, many people who have seen the trailers see it as a little too similar looking to God of War, but this can be easily explained by executive producer Jonathan Knight.
I knew to pull off a project this ambitious, we'd have to have an incredible level design team. So I was able to convince Michael Chang, who's just one of the best in the business, Metroid Prime, God of War. Convincing him to join the team and basically lead the level design effort was almost emotional turning point for the project.
There's this area called the Hall of Gluttons. It's kind of like a mind trip thing where Lucifer is controlling your environment the way we try to stage the puzzle. That makes it feel like the environment is like alive.
So Visceral has the same level designer, but I believe that Dante's Inferno will be a game that stands on its own. A defining aspect of Dante's Inferno is that you're going to have to make your own moral choices throughout your adventure. The 2 weapon paths are a reflection of these moral choices you're going to have to make. The scythe complements your evil deeds.
Raining fire, just seething with negative energy.
While your cross is affected by your more holy actions.
Use the cross, exorcise them, and save their soul.
If you choose the unholy path, you become more like the devil every step of the way.
The game has one story, and there's a great story there, but there's a lot of different ways to play. A lot like life, it's hard to be holy, but the reward is much greater.
Gracious Lord.
Now, what you're going to be fighting with these weapons is a little bit out there. The developers are holding nothing back in terms of content. I think this is great because the original poem was extremely graphic in itself, so I believe the game is staying true to its inspiration.
That both vomits and defecates off of both ends. You know, I don't even know how she got the she label, but she's got the big belly, she's got mouths on her ears, mouths on her hands.
It's another one of Wayne Barlow's great designs. She's got a great grab attack where she kind of picks you up and tries to eat you. She also has this projectile puke attack.
Controversy around the game will probably center around very mature imagery.
I have had some concerns at night about receiving things in the mail that I didn't want to receive.
I've been called a baby killer, so it can't get much worse than that.
Now, I had the honor of being able to ask a question to executive producer Jonathan Knight and senior producer Justin Lambros. Take a look.
Here's a great one. How many of the staff have read The Inferno? This is from Zach Long on Facebook.
How many of the staff have read The Inferno? We haven't really polled them. I don't know. I mean, I think...
I know some people have torn it apart. I mean, just dug through every page.
Yeah, I mean, I've read it, you know, at least 6, 7, 8 times myself. I know Justin's read it probably a few times.
Yeah, I studied it in college, went back and read it. We have a producer that's designated. He's our kind of our poem expert who's broken down all the major people, places, and things in a kind of an Excel spreadsheet so you can absorb and kind of have a checklist there. And so we've kind of tried to make sure we get the information that we can decipher and get through into the game.
The people working on the design and the story definitely are pretty immersed in it. You know, one of our first gameplay engineers, Tom Wilson, who came on the project very early, he's really into it.
I want to thank them both for answering my question. This confirms that the staff is very into the original work, and that fans like me of the original work will come to appreciate this game even more. But Visceral Games has done something that we can all appreciate. They have aimed for the goal of making this game run at 60 frames.
Was making sure that the combat felt awesome.
One of the big things that we wanted to do in Dante's Inferno is really have the game run at 60 frames per second.
60 feels free, it feels fluid. 30 feels like you're drunk.
I mean, we did some tests, you know, where we took 30 and we took 60. You can totally tell the difference. As soon as you go to 60, you just see the flow, you see the trails, the sights leaving behind, and just the smoothness.
It's a visual and a tactile thing. It's how it feels, but 60 frames per second is pretty good. Especially with all the great effects we got going on in the game now. Sassy.
The smoothness of the game at 60 frames, as well as many other aspects, were celebrated by people who left feedback about the demo. I'm not able to personally test out the demo myself, but I do have some footage. It'll be interesting to see how the developers interpreted each circle of hell when the full game releases. Lambros and Knight both picked their favorite circle during the live stream.
If I have to pick one, I usually would pick Lust because it's the kind of the first of the sins after Limbo, and we just had such a good time making that level and sort of bringing that pretty potent and kind of controversial content into the idea of creating a whole environment, a world based around lust.
For me,
you can't pick Lust now.
Yeah, I know, that's the hard part. No, I mean, there was a couple levels that I really enjoyed working on. I mean, it's for me, it's trying to pick between Gluttony and Greed. Gluttony has a nice, it's disgusting, it's got a nice trippy part, kind of some really unexpected stuff, and it's got a great minion based on its theme. But I think I'm going to have to go with Greed, actually, is my favorite one, because it was probably some of the most work. It was a very complex level. It's got a lot of very unique kind of gameplay stuff to it.
And for any of you New Game Plus fans out there, take a look at this.
There's another kind of challenge mode that unlocks when you beat the game.
So keep an eye out for Dante's Inferno that'll be coming out in a couple of months.